Recently, writers and historians Yuval Noah Harari was warned the world about too much dependence on data-driven technology, which could result in data colonialism, hence leading to creation of monopolistic corporation and tyrant governments. More about news. He contended that big data and artificial intelligence are two big problems at national and global level as over concentration of data into corporation. So, they, he contended that big data and artificial intelligence are two big problems. कौन कौन सा बिग डेटा एंड आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस दो बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है एट नेशनल एंड ग्लोबल लेवल एज ओवर कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ डेटा से क्या होता है data into cooperation. Government agency or amongst a few countries had increased the risk of data colonialization and digital dictatorship. Use of internet has exponentially increased in last decade. Last decade में use of internet has exponentially increased, exposing the individual to thousands of benefits to connected world, starting from making communication faster to accessing services easier. What is digital colonialism? Digital colonialism and digital dictatorships. Digital colonialism एक process है by which multinational corporations claim ownership and privatize the data that is produced by users and citizens, which give them disproportionate power. Digital colonialism and digital dictatorship एक प्रोसेस है बाय विच मल्टीनेशनल कॉरपोरेशन क्लेम करती हैं ओनरशिप एंड privatize the data that is produced by user and citizens, which is it gives them disproportionate power and ability to exploit other countries. Digital dictatorship is when few groups, corporations, and even government monopolize the immense power of data and AI to create an extremely unequal society or the worst totalitarian regime of human history. What can be possible impact of data colonialization and digital dictatorship? Economic monopoly. Economically, the danger है it is that across the world, most countries and most industries are independent on harvested data. For instance, in textile industry, company would gather data on customers like preference and trends. So if company can harvest his data around the world, it can monopolize textile industry. इम्पैक्ट क्या है डिजिटल कॉलोनाइजेशन के और डिक्टेटरशिप के? एक तो इकोनॉमिक मोनोपोली होती है, दूसरा टेक्नोलॉजिकल मोनोपोली होती है. ऑल दी सोफिस्टिकेटेड टेक्नोलॉजीज जो भी हैं लाइक AI, machine learning are produced in a few developed countries and can be used to exploit rest of the world. In fact, 5 out of top 10 companies of the world in terms of market shares are US tech giants. Privacy issues. It has more than 600 million internet users who spend significant time online. Extremely personal aspects can be shared with different stakeholders without someone's consent. For example, Aadhaar is one of the largest database of information about individual and it is not restricted to data of connected people but extends beyond to those who are not connected. Huge potential here for information being used to catch people in virtual captivity. Surveillance. Infiltration of technology in data and in daily lives along with ongoing development in big data analytics has provided surveillance opportunities for government and private players. For example, Pegasus snooping case. So surveillance यहाँ पर देख what can be possible impacts of data colonization and data dictatorship. इनके impacts क्या हैं? तो economic monopoly, technological monopoly, privacy concerns, cyber crimes. India is witnessing देख cyber crimes क्या है कि India is witnessing significant change in nature of cyber crimes. It is now extremely organized and collaborative. Moreover, volume of data on internet is expanding exponentially and spread of new technologies like artificial intelligence, internet of things, big data poses a threat of abuse and misuse of data. इसका वे फॉरवर्ड क्या है? फॉर इफेक्टिव इम्प्लीमेंटेशन of data protection regime, it requires that all the stakeholders align their policies with requirement of data protection, encourage adoption of privacy by design principle, explore possible consent requirement at time of data collection. सो वे फॉरवर्ड यही है कि हमें इफेक्टिव इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करना चाहिए डेटा प्रोटेक्शन रेजीम का, global data governance, work with like-minded countries to create interoperable data sharing framework. This would support responsible and ethical cross-border sharing of data, robust and comprehensive personal data protection law. Need of the hour है in order to tackle digital dictatorship at home. Due to importance must be given to public awareness, better implementation and regulation, and efficient grievance redressal. Global data governance. Policymakers should provide multiple mechanisms to transfer personal data and encourage firms to improve consumer trust through greater transparency about how they manage data, support development, global growth and standard. यहाँ पर देख, यहाँ पर क्या दे रखा है कि इंडिया फ्रेमवर्क टू मेंटेन डेटा बैलेंस. देख, डेटा इज द न्यू की, लाइक, राइट. पर्सनल डेटा प्रोटेक्शन बिल 2019 में सीक करता है टू प्रोवाइड फॉर प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ पर्सनल डेटा ऑफ इंडिविजुअल एंड एस्टैब्लिश अ डेटा प्रोटेक्शन अथॉरिटी फॉर द सेम. It also has provision regarding transfer of data outside India in order to address the issue of data criminalization. Sensitive personal data may be transferred outside India for process of explicitly consented by individual and subject to certain additional conditions. However, such sensitive personal data should continue to be stored in India. Critical personal data can only be processed in India. Personal data other than sensitive and critical personal data don't have localization mandates. Supreme Court in K.S. Puttaswamy case has declared right to privacy fundamental right. Hence, protecting individual privacy is constitutional duty of the state, thereby tackling digital dictatorship to an extent. Global framework. Osaka Declaration on Digital Economy. G20 countries अनाउंस करती हैं टू लॉन्च ओसाका ट्रैक, एक प्रोसेस जो कि एम करता है टू इंटेंसिफाई एफर्ट्स ऑन इंटरनेशनल रूल मेकिंग, digital economy, especially on data flows and e-commerce, while promoting enhanced protection for intellectual property, personal information and cyber security. India has not signed Osaka Tract. एक डिजिटल इकोनॉमी है, डिक्लेरेशन डिजिटल इकोनॉमी G20 कंट्रीज अनाउंस करती है टू लॉन्च ओसाका ट्रैक, एक प्रोसेस है जो एम करता है टू इंटेंसिफाई एफर्ट